Hello, fellow citizens of Leander. My name is Gerald Prater, and for those of you who've not yet met me, I've been a citizen here since the spring of 2007. The purpose of this video is that I want to give my endorsement for Troy Hill for re-election as mayor of the City of Leander. It's important to note that my endorsement and this video have not been solicited in any way by Mayor Hill, nor any compensation by Mayor Hill, nor any members of his campaign. This is simply a public statement being given by a concerned citizen telling his story and why he supports Mayor Hill and why I encourage you to also support him in the upcoming election. It may surprise you to find out that I've not always supported Mayor Hill. In fact, in the previous election in 2018, I actively and vehemently campaigned against him on the other side. So you may ask yourself, well, Gerald, what's happened? What's changed to make you switch over and support Mayor Hill this time? The answer is very simple. I've had a few years to observe very closely him and other members of our city council. And what I've seen in that observation is I've seen a man, a mayor, a leader who demonstrates exceptional character and professionalism as he has led our city. I've had a lot of experience in my previous careers in the military and in corporate America with leadership, both observing and working for good leaders who had exceptional qualities and leaders that were not so good. I see many of those exceptional qualities in Mayor Hill. One of those that I want to point out is he's got an understanding of what an elected official is supposed to do and how he's supposed to represent all of the people, not just the people that agree with him or the people that are in his inner circle. He has demonstrated for me time and time again that he is the mayor for all of Leander. He's doing what is best overall for all of us. Now there are some that would argue that, well, he doesn't give me what I want, so he's not my mayor. I would say that when we have that kind of a mindset, we really don't understand the foundation of our nation, our nation's constitution. Things that are in this document are things that I've observed in his leadership style, that he understands, he gets it, of what a leader is supposed to be. We look around our country today at other cities and other states, and we see examples of leadership that has gone astray, that is leadership that is a train wreck, that cares nothing about their people. I've seen quite the opposite in Mayor Hill. As I previously mentioned, I've not always agreed with him, and at times I've approached him and other members of the city council to express that disagreement. And the result has always been an open and inviting discussion and dialogue. It's not designed to demean or put down the other person, but to actively engage in a discussion, to exchange ideas, and to come to agreement. This is something that is sorely missing in our country today, in our nation today, and we are blessed to have that kind of leadership here. I mentioned the Constitution just a moment ago. I and a few others are actively involved in a conflict right now that's kind of related to what I'm talking about. It's a conflict with our local school district, who thinks that they have more control or say-so over our children and their lives and development than we as parents do. It again is something that goes directly in the face, contradicts the Constitution, by people who were also elected who don't seem to get it, who don't seem to understand. I want to start out after kind of setting the foundation of what this document actually states and how it is being violated in so many cases. The opening paragraph of this document pretty much sets forth the purpose and foundation of what it's all about, of what government is supposed to be all about. When it says, "We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty for ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That foundation is pretty much what it's all about. It starts out with we the people. It's all about the people, all of the people. And government that provides for the basic needs, safety, security, tranquility for all the people. And then ultimately, liberty, freedom for all the people. Key point that is being lost today here in our school district and in many cases around the country is that my freedoms are given to me by my Creator God. But what He does not give me in those freedoms is the ability for me to take my freedoms and enforce them on others and invade or violate the freedoms of other people. This is what we're fighting with right now in our school district. And this is what I see as a quality of character in our mayor, is that he gets it. He understands that freedom is something that belongs to we the people, all the people. And when I make a choice of what to do with my freedom, I cannot force that choice on someone else. He's a leader of the people, and we desperately need him today in our city. I mentioned about his qualities and character and professionalism. He's also a servant leader who doesn't just sit behind office doors or behind a fenced-in home, but he gets out front and he leads by example. We saw examples of that in the recent storm last February when we were tragically cut off and isolated with outages of both electricity and water, and in some cases even gas. And what did I observe during that time? I observed our mayor getting out on the street and doing what he could to help people, going out and trying to distribute heaters to families who were in need in their homes that needed to be warmed. Was he able to do this for all 60,000 plus citizens? Absolutely not, but he got out and did what he could. Again, qualities of a leader that I recognize and look up to. There are many detractors in the city who looked at things that went wrong that they blamed on our mayor. I respectfully disagree and say that the tragedy of what happened in the middle of February was much, much bigger than Leander. Could we have done things to prevent or to have sufficient backup so that we didn't have to worry about the things and services that the state and the federal government provides for us? Sure, we could have. We could have had backup generators and electricity that would let us go on into eternity without having to worry about the government, the state, or the federal government. But the problem, fellow citizens, is that that kind of backup comes at a cost. And eventually, we'd be complaining that why are our taxes so high? Well, it's because we got to pay for all of these systems, because we can't depend on the higher levels of government to do what they're supposed to do to support we the people. So again, I would argue that although the tragedy that happened here back in the middle of February was unfortunate, it was by no means something that was centered around Leander or our leadership. Again, I witnessed our leaders going out and doing what it took to get things back online and to get help where help was needed. Now, finally, one last thing on Mayor Hill. He inherited, 3 years ago, he inherited a vision for our city, fastest growing city in the nation. And this vision for our future direction had been established and had been being created and modified over several previous administrations. And I watched as he came in and continued what had already previously been started. He's working to make Leander something that I enjoy now, city with a small town feel, as we continue to grow and get bigger without bringing with that growth the problems that are associated with larger towns or municipalities. Having said that, I want to share a few closing words about his competition. Those problems that are associated with larger cities, I've seen instances where I've been on the other end of a discussion with his competition where she actively supports many of those problems that are being brought here. Problems that are questions of choices. Choices that we each make individually. And we have a tendency to try to force our choices on other people. Many of you who know me know that I'm a man of faith. I'm a man of great faith. But neither I nor the God who sent me here would ever go out and force what I believe to be embraced by other people who don't believe it. This is exactly what's happening right now in our school system, as I mentioned before, and what's being encouraged and supported by the competition against Mayor Hill. I've talked about it a bit on my social media platforms, and this ultimately, fellow citizens, is the reason why I vehemently support Mayor Hill as our continued mayor of our city. There are so many examples around the country, around the nation, where we see mayors and leaders who have gotten a tyrannical mindset where their position is, you just do what I tell you to do and shut up if you don't agree with it. I see tendencies of danger towards that in our city if we don't continue to support and re-elect Mayor Troy Hill. Thank you, and have a blessed day.